we're taking a moment to just enjoy a few really good deep breaths. Huge breaths in. Long, relaxing exhales. Take a few cycles just like that. The inhales help to inflate us, fill us with that fresh oxygen, the oxygen that feeds the cells of our body. And the nice relaxed exhales, it's like we're releasing everything that's no longer serving us. So let the body relax, let it receive this breath, deep cycles. And as we're starting to connect with our intention, we have this idea that we're working on of balance between strength and release. It's that balance between hardness and softness. It's that perfect in-between space. If you think about it, any muscle that we use, if I'm lifting up my arm, for instance, or if I'm doing a bicep contraction, any muscle we use, there has to be hardness on one half and softness on the other half. So if I'm contracting my bicep, this side gets hard and strong. We need the tricep to get long and soft, and having those opposing actions makes it so that the movement works. If the tricep were to try to contract at the same time that the bicep is trying to work like that, the job couldn't be done. Our arm would be rigid and stuck. But in having that balance between hardness and softness, we're able to have that perfect balance, that beautiful flow, the strength and the flexibility is able to happen. And so that's the idea that we're playing with in class, is working on back strength, but also softness on the opposing side. And so that's the idea we'll be playing with today. So the first thing we're going to do, just let yourself stretch the arms up overhead. Enjoy a couple of really good deep breaths. And especially feel how this length pulls the abdominal muscles and even the back muscles into a nice stretch. And feel your breath flowing. The nice inhale is almost like an extra release that helps the length happen. In the exhale, that gentle contraction helps to activate the core, the abdominal muscles. So feel that nice contrast between the inhale and the exhale. And then let's take our knees into the chest, a hand on each knee. Do a few nice little circles on the low back, helping to massage the back, make sure it feels good, it feels steady. And then from here, set the feet down, preparing for bridge pose. Hands are by our side. This one will be a nice inhale to lift us up, hips, and then one vertebrae at a time. Through the duration of the entire exhale, we roll all the way back down. Just follow your breath at your own pace like this. Inhale to rise, exhale to roll down. And anytime we lift, feel the parts that have the strength. So feel the glutes, feel the back muscles strong, and then feel that nice release to help us return. If we were to have just strength on this backside, we'd probably get sore after a little while because this is a very strong pose. But because we have the release afterwards, it feels really good to help strengthen and activate the spine. So take one more set up. This time do stay. Keep the knees slightly squeezing in. And feel the back lifting us, the glutes lifting for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and return all the way back down. Allow the legs to stretch up to the sky. And the legs open up wide. Now from here, we're going to do a few crunches. So this is going to help us feel the opposite side work than what was just working. So arms stretch up overhead, feel the inhale flow into the belly. Exhale to reach through the legs. Inhale long, exhale reach. Take another 3, 2, and 1. Good, leave the hands on the inner thighs, allowing the inner thighs to stretch. That nice length through the legs. You can always have a bend to the knees if it's getting to be too much. But we'll hold here a few extra breaths. Just enjoying this moment to be, to lengthen, and feel here how this pose is possible because you've got the stretch going at the same time that other muscle groups are holding your hips in place. We're not jello jiggly skeletons, you know, skeletons that could just flat and then the legs are open. We've got so much other stuff to help keep us in place. Another good inhale. And then exhale as you release, bend the knees, bring the knees together. Arms open out to each side and we'll take a simple twist. Knees can fall over to the left side. Start to feel the spine as it opens up. Nice release. Feel the breath flow into the belly. And then take the knees up. Enjoy the twist to the second side. So thinking of our body symbolically, when we're working on the strength of the back, imagine that's like the structure of our life. That's what helps us know this is my life. I'm doing good choices. I can be strong and sure with who I am. That's the strength aspect. Now the softness aspect is almost like the future. It's like when the back is working, we need the front to be soft. So that front represents the future. We cannot predict the future, so you and me both, we probably didn't expect 2020 to turn out the way that it did. But in us having flexibility and that softness, we're able to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and kind of navigate with flexibility and ease through whatever the future will throw at us from now and into the beyond, to see where we're taken and what happens. Good. So now as the hips are turned back down, let's plant the feet, take the right leg up to the sky. Just help that hamstring for a moment, having a little stretch. This could be anything that your leg needs. So maybe you've got some tightness in the ankle and you're rolling through that. Maybe you're straightening this leg and actively pulling it in with the strength of the arms. There's different ways to do this based on what your body needs. So enjoy another good inhale. And with the exhale, take this right ankle onto left thigh. Let's thread our arms around left side. The right hip gets a chance to open for a few breaths. This is the softness aspect here. We are pulling into the amount that we have the mobility, but we're not forcing anything. Feel your breath flow for a moment. As we set this left foot back down on the ground, keep the right ankle up. And now we're going to find the strength aspect. Our hands relax back to the ground. And with our inhale, we're going to rise back up to the bridge pose with this ankle lifted. So perhaps peek up and make sure your hips are level. We're not dropping one much further than the other. Feel the strength that's required to keep it level. And this is the strong aspect of this pose. So take another good inhale. And exhale, you're welcome to return back down. Drop right foot to the ground. And left leg gets its chance to be up to the sky. Pausing here for a few good breaths. Again, if you need ankle rolls or if you're working on the hamstring deeper, let it be to whatever depth is helpful. A few extra breaths here. And let's take this ankle up. Once you've got it resting, the left ankle on right thigh, let's thread our hands around the right side. Working on the softness here. There's no need to have force beyond what is helpful. We're just simply helping the hips open to whatever mobility they're happy. Beautiful deep inhale into the belly. Soft exhale. Drop the right foot to the ground. And let's do another strengthening pose. We roll up with the ankle still resting. Keep that activation so that hips are still stable in exactly the same spot. Very level. And enjoy one more good inhale. Exhale to roll all the way back down. And from here, when we release the ankle, let's roll our way up. If you'd like to roll like a ball a few times, that's welcome. Helping to wake up the spine. Eventually, when you're ready to come into cobbler's pose, allow bottoms of feet to rest together, knees open up, and let the back be soft through this time. Let it straighten up. But then as you tilt, there's that soft aspect that allows the stretch to happen. And notice how the softer you go, the more pleasant this pose becomes. Now this one's a soft pose. As we rise up, we're going to set up for a strong pose. So lift the knees up, plant the feet, plant the hands right behind us, and then try to lift the hips up as high as they can become. And we're counting down here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Returning back down to softness. Allow left foot to tuck in, right leg gets to go long. Bring the hands to the ground in front of you and simply slide the hands forward. Back to a soft quality. If the wrists ever need to roll out here, take that wonderful time to be with that. Maybe even purposely bringing the wrist into stretches as we're going into the softness. Starting to rise back up, let's switch out the legs. Allowing left leg to go long, hands come down to the ground in front of us, and let's soften our way forward once again. Beautiful. Rising up here, bring the bottoms of feet together. Actually, let's take it in a boat pose. So knees together for a moment. We can grab onto the thighs. Lean back if this is the strength that we have. Maybe the toes can lift up a little bit higher. Maybe hands release. Maybe legs straighten. You don't have to take any of those options if you don't wish. We're holding in whichever variation for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then with the release here, let the feet be a bit further than they were earlier. Rest a hand on each shin, and we're going to allow our spine to roll in circles. So the idea is when it travels backwards, we're rounding backward through our spine, almost like a cat. Roll the rib cage through one side, and then arch the heart forward. Continue the circle to that direction, and go all the way back. Keep it going to whatever direction you chose. We're going to continue a few more circles to this direction. But feel the whole spine play with all those different aspects. Feel what parts contract in a given shape, and feel the parts that have to be soft. So when we're arching, it's the back that's stronger. And when we're relaxing back, it's the front that's doing the contraction. Do one more to this direction that you've chosen. And then when you finish, switch it out. So take it to the other direction, clockwise if you're going counterclockwise, or vice versa. And see if the heart can arch even deeper. That's honestly the hardest part of this because of how the hips are shaped. But feel that strength happening to help it arch. And we're taking 2 more to that direction. And 1. Beautiful. Now as we come up and over onto hands and knees, allow your spine to come to a nice neutral flat plane. From this placement, right arm is going to reach forward and left leg back. And feel the strength of your back that enables this length to happen through the arm and the leg. And you don't have to do anything else here, but if the balance is doing okay, maybe take a few cycles of touching elbow and knee, and then returning back to long. Nice exhale and inhale. And here we've got 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Feel the length for a moment. And then when right hand drops back down, we're going to take a kneeling half moon pose. So right foot swivels off the right edge of the mat. Keep this left leg lifting. Hips try to pull back to stack. Shoulders try to stack. And then we see if the left hand can balance up to the sky. Feeling the body work to stay with as much balance as it's capable of. Feel the strength of the back through this lift. And with the next exhale, left hand comes down. This left foot crosses past the mat on the right side. And then once it's there, hips get pushed to the left and we gaze over our right shoulder toward those toes. This helps us to feel the stretch on the outer part of the the left hip. Good. Feel another breath flow in. And then exhale, drop this left knee down. And allow the spine, the whole rib cage, to be one circle to each direction. Feel how easeful it is when the hips have this much mobility when we're not sitting on them. Good. When we finish the second side, we take the left arm forward and the right leg back. Feel the strength in the back. Maybe a few cycles. Exhale and inhale. Breath flowing. The contraction allows that everything to come in toward the middle. 2 more. And 1. Beautiful. As we drop the left hand down, left foot swivels off the mat on that left side. Stack the right hip. Maybe the right arm can lift. Kneeling half moon. Feel your body, any amount of balance it's able to maintain right now. One more inhale. And exhale, the hand drops down. The foot crosses on the mat, past the mat, over to the left side, and then hip gets pushed to the right. Gaze to the left at those toes. Beautiful. Drop the right knee down and take a few cat-cows. Feel how the spine is able to go through both motions. The rounding and the arching. Follow your breath. And 2 more. Good. As the spine comes back to neutral, walk the hands a full foot forward. This brings us toward a kneeling plank. And here we're going to take some little flows. These are a very mini version of it. And so bending the elbows, we lower ourselves down to the ground. Take just as much of a back bend as your spine is okay with right now. And then press back into a child pose. And that'll be the flow, so that we're repeating those shapes over and over again. We come back to the mini plank, lower down, nice back bend, and child. And you can take this at your own pace. If you want to pause for a little while in any of those shapes, that is absolutely okay. Just listen to your body. What would be highest and kindest? What's best for all of our systems? And perhaps just one more cycle after where you currently are. We rest for a few bonus breaths in child when we get there. Walk the hands off the left edge of the mat, walking ourselves all the way into a really good lateral stretch. And take it off to the other side. Good, and as we come back, feel the spine get pulled long for another good inhale. And exhale. And then walk your hands in to rise up. Taking a shoulder stretch, the right arm crosses all the way over the body. Hook the left arm around and pull it in, nice and gentle. If this is too much for the knees, you can always come up to a nice high kneeling place instead. This is softness through the shoulders. Take a good inhale to open. Exhale to switch sides, hook around, pull it in. And one more breath here. Again, inhale to open. And then exhale, as we play with downward facing dog, we're finding more of the strength in the shoulder area. So planting the hands down, tuck the toes, lift the hips. A nice strong downward facing dog. You can feel the legs pedal for this few breaths that we're here. And then allow the right leg to float up to the sky, reach it really high. And then when we step the right foot in between the hands, let yourself drop onto the back knee. So hands are on the floor for a moment as we're feeling our hips sink really far forward. And walk the hands up to the thigh. Reset the hips into that deep sinking place. And as the hips shift over the back knee, the front leg goes straight. Drop the hands down for a beautiful half split. Okay, as we send this leg back, we're going to find ourselves in kneeling plank, or perhaps we're ready for full plank. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then side plank. The easy version would be drop the right knee down, stack the hips. The left leg is still on the ground. Left hand can be at the hip or the sky. Harder version would be rocking the heels to the right, lift left hand up. So your preference. Another good inhale. Exhale, the left hand goes down. We switch sides, so heels go to the left, right hand lifts. You can have left knee down. Either way, feel the back muscles having length to reach really high up. One more good inhale. Exhale, drop the hand. Let's take a flow, lowering down, arching. And you're welcome to take a child pose for a moment, or perhaps go straight to the down dog. If you did the child, lift up to down for just a moment so that left foot can raise. Step through, and right knee rests on the ground. Good. Sink the hips forward. One day we're trying to imagine a straight line from kneecap to kneecap. You have the option to walk hands up to the thigh and sink the hips even deeper forward. And the half split. The leg goes straight, drop the hands down. Okay, as this leg comes back, we have the same options. You come to plank or kneeling plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either drop the right knee down or drop the heels to the right. Lift the left hand up. Another good inhale. Exhale, left hand down, switch it to the other side. Mostly this is to feel the length and strength of the spine. And another inhale. Exhale down. We can go straight to child's pose, take a flow, or straight to down dog. Good. Lift up to down dog if you're not there already. Right leg will float. Step right foot in between hands. This time back heel goes down. The front knee is bent as we sweep the arms up to the sky for a nice warrior one. Sinking down with strength. We're going to create a little flow sequence here. When the arms are up, the front knee is bent. From here, we straighten the front leg. The arms come down by our sides. Then we tilt halfway forward. So let's work with that balance. Nice inhale to bend the front knee, sweep the arms up. Exhale, arms down, straighten the front leg, bow halfway down. Good, nice and slow like this, 3 more times. 2. And feel the back muscles working with that length. Here's 1. Good. You can choose to hold here with the strength or drop the hands down to work with a softer quality now as we're here for the stretch for a few breaths. Okay, soften the front knee, hands plant down, step back, child pose, down dog or a flow. And up to down dog if you're not there already. Left leg floats, step it through, back heel goes to the earth. And when you've got your balance, sweep up. Remember, hips are forward, not to the side. So arms up, feel the strength as we're trying to sink lower. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, straighten the leg, sweep the arms by our sides, bow halfway down. And up. And down. 3 more nice and slow. Two. And last one. You can stay with strength if you wish, or just drop the hands down for the softer quality. Good. Soften the front knee so hands can plant. And once again, child pose, down dog, or straight up to the, straight through to the flow. This will be one where we take down dog just for as long as it feels good. Eventually we'll make our way up to the top of the mat for a nice standing forward fold. Legs long, muscles of the spine simply releasing. Use your next inhale to rise. Arch the spine, feel that good stretch. And hands down to the heart. Drop your left hand to your left thigh, circle the right arm up and over, and feel how the hips shifting to the right helps us lean further to the left. There has to be that softness in the hips for us to feel the length and the strength through the rest of the spine. Good, rising up, switch directions. All the way up and over toward the right. Good. And then we're turning up. We're standing on our left foot. The right foot can either be resting on the ground in front of us or right ankle up on left thigh. If we're here, we're bending the standing leg, trying to sit the hips back, and feel how the further back you allow the hips to go, the more the spine is able to start feeling that strength as we try to lean forward. Maybe to the point where we can rest the elbows down. Really long, strong spine wherever you are. And another good inhale. Exhale, the spine rises up to the point where we can cross this right foot in front as we drop it down, and then roll our way into a nice forward fold. Either uncross the feet now or wait until we roll up to uncross, your choice. And if you need to shake things out for a moment to help yourself feel solid into the earth again, go for it. When you're ready, our weight shifts into the right side. Left foot crosses in front or comes up to rest. The standing leg bends. And we feel our spine having length up, so that we can then start to sit the hips back with a long, straight spine. Maybe we lean so far forward, elbows can rest. Don't feel any pressure if that pushes the balance too far. Another good inhale. And exhale, rise up enough that you can drop this left foot down. It's crossing in front. And then we roll our way down. Uncross the feet now or later. Either way, roll our way up to stand. Good. And then here, as we're standing at the top of our mat, make sure the feet are hip distance apart. Start to sit the hips back like we're about to go into a chair. Once again, the spine is long and straight. Hands are welcome to be at the heart to start off with. Perhaps we sweep the arms up by our ears to feel that extra back strength for a moment. And then drop them back down to the heart. We're going to try to set up for a nice little spinal twist. So take your left elbow, try to hook it onto the right thigh. If this is too much, you're not able to quite set up for that twist, open up the arms instead, hooking at the wrist. And this would be a perfectly fine spot to stay. From here, we're gonna do a little balance challenge. Gaze at the floor about a foot in front of your right foot. Shift your weight into the right foot. And then try to balance as you shift your left foot back into a lunge. We're still set up in the spinal twist. Take one more good breath in. And exhale, spiral open into warrior two. From warrior two, drop the front elbow onto front thigh. Allow left arm to extend all the way long by the ear. Rise up, warrior two. Reverse it out, left hand to left leg, right arm up to the side. And then coming back up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Taking triangle pose, reach the right arm forward first, and then right hand to right shin, left hand up to sky. You can either stay here, or if you'd like to play with half moon pose, up yourself forward until right hand can drop to the ground for this balance. If you're in half moon, gently land back into triangle pose. Everybody rises up Legs are straight, face the hips forward, so shorten the stance to that point. Arms come up by the ears. Feel the length of the spine extending us up tall. Lift up your back heel. Feel how that starts to kick our weight onto the front leg. Lift up the back toes, we're in balance. If you'd like to try to tilt to play with the balance more, that's okay. And then the left knee floats in front of us to step down. Good. Hands at the heart. Sit back like you're about to go into the chair. The spine is straight and long. Good. This time, right elbow hooks for the twist. You can always go to the wrist instead, but try gazing at the ground about a foot in front of left foot. Shift your weight into left foot. Slide the right leg back to the lunge. Nice inhale. Exhale, smoothly open, warrior two. Front elbow to front thigh. And then this right arm gets stretched long. Feel the softness to go into the extension. Rising up, the front knee stays bent. As the right hand goes to right leg, left hand up to sky. Coming back up, warrior two, straighten the front leg. Reach left hand forward. Drop left hand to shin, right hand to sky. If you'd like to choose half moon, this is where you can play with that. Left hand going down. If you went to half moon, gently land. Return to triangle. Rising up, shorten the stance to face the hips forward. Arms rise up by the ears, spine is long, feel the lift. And then lift up the right heel. Lift off those toes. Feel the strength and the balance. Maybe leaning even further. Good, right knee floats out in front of us to step down. Hands to the heart, that was all the hard work. So let's wrap up with some nice stretches. Circle the arms up to the sky, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, slide the hands down. As we step back, you can take child pose, down dog, or perhaps one last flow of the day. Your choice. Enjoying 3 more breaths. And we drop down to our knees. Allow the left arm to reach up to the sky for a nice twist. Twist requires softness in the spine to set it up. Now exhale, thread this left shoulder under and through, setting it all the way down. The right arm can either wrap around the low back or reach long up to the top of the mat. Enjoying a few breaths through this twist and the gentle shoulder opener. And slide the right hand in, press into it. When both hands are underneath us, take a cat, take a cow, and then back to neutral, right arm up to the sky. Thread it under and through. Choose that arm position for this left hand. And when we return up, take a cat and a cow. Good. Come to sit with the legs out in front of us. We're going to have the left leg long, the right foot planted, and we're taking a spinal twist. So the left hand or the left elbow grabs that right knee. Now, when we're setting up for a twist, we first have to set up the strength to lift us up tall, and then we use the softness of the exhale to help us gently open the spine. And that way it's not a forceful twist. Chiropractors hate it when we take forceful twists, but rather the twist comes simply from the elongation of the muscles, the softening of the muscles. Good. As we return forward, let this right thigh flop down. Inhale, find that length up to the sky. Exhale, find the softness, reaching forward and through. Okay, when we rise up, switch the legs out. Right leg is long, left foot is planted. You take the spinal twist, lengthen up. Hook the hand or elbow, and soften with the exhale. Another breath in and out. Return, let the thigh fall down, stretch up to the sky, and relax up and over. Good. Now as we soften our way up, we're going to head to a nice Shavasana position. If there's any stretches you need to take before that, your body just needs one last thing, feel free to take any of those last things. Otherwise, when you feel ready, sooner or later, come to a nice position laying all the way down onto your back. And as we're heading toward our restful place for these next few minutes, let yourself feel this contrast between the inhale and the exhale. With the inhale, the diaphragm has to work, pulling down away from the lungs. With the exhale, there's that softening, that release. And because of that balance between strength and softening, we can breathe, we can have all that oxygen that we need. So let yourself be with that wonderful balance happening within your own system. Enjoying these inhales and these exhales for several minutes. Begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Starting to stretch out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Eventually taking a nice fetal position off to one side. Enjoying 3 more rounds of breath before we come up to a comfortable seated place. Keep the breath slow and even. As we rise up, we bring our hands together in front of the heart. And we realize that as we travel in toward our day, we can draw upon either side. We can draw upon the strength of everything it took to become who we are. And also we can draw upon the softness, that flexibility, that fluidity of life, realizing that nothing happens exactly as we planned it. And so with these contrasting sides of us, to bring us into perfect balance, perfect health with our muscles, with our body, with our whole system, with all of this to lead us on, let's wrap up this wonderful time we got to share together today with a sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.